Every Halloween, while millions celebrate with costumes and candy, some families light candles for the ones who never came home. In the last decade alone, over 50 cold cases connected to Halloween nights were reopened, and a few have finally been solved. But the truth that came out was darker than anyone imagined. Welcome to my channel, Unsolved Cases, our deep dive into Halloween's coldest crimes. Tonight, we uncover real investigations that started in fear, froze in silence for decades, and were finally cracked open, sometimes by a single DNA thread or a confession made on a deathbed. These aren't horror stories, they're true stories. And they all began on Halloween. Cold cases are puzzles without edges. Evidence fades, witnesses vanish, and leads dry up. When a crime happens on Halloween, the chaos makes everything harder. Masked faces, crowded streets, endless costumes. Any suspect could blend in. Detectives often describe Halloween crimes as a nightmare within a nightmare. For decades, these cases sat buried in police archives, labeled unsolved, until technology and persistence changed everything. Case 1. The Midnight Trick-or-Treat Murder. Halloween, 1981, St. Louis, Missouri. 8-year-old Timothy Bauer knocks on a final door at 9:45 p.m. He never returns. The only clue? A half-open candy bag found near a storm drain. For years, neighbors whispered about the Candy Man, an unknown figure seen handing out treats alone. In 2019, a cold case detective uploaded DNA from the bag's string to the national database. A familial match hit, a man who had died in 2006. His brother still lived 2 blocks from the original scene. A search warrant uncovered the same brand of vintage candy wrappers sealed in a box labeled for Halloween 1981. 40 years later, Timothy's case was finally closed, not by confession, but by science. Case 2. The Ghost in the Cornfield. Illinois, 1994. On Halloween morning, a farmer finds a mannequin in his cornfield until he realizes it's real. The victim, an unidentified woman dressed in a witch costume, no ID, no belongings. For decades, she was known only as the Cornfield Witch. In 2021, forensic genealogists traced her DNA to a family tree in Michigan. The woman was Mary Linton, a traveling carnival worker who disappeared the night before Halloween. But the shock came next. The carnival's former manager confessed to killing her during a jealous argument and burying her in the field before dawn. The confession came after he saw her face recreated online by digital forensic artists. The internet had solved what police couldn't. Case 3. The Vanishing of the Twins. Salem, Oregon, 2002. Twin sisters, both 13, disappear after leaving a Halloween party. Their costumes, matching vampires, make them nearly impossible to distinguish in security footage. The town was haunted for 20 years by rumors of a local recluse, a man who never opened his door to trick-or-treaters. In 2023, new AI-enhanced video software isolated his vehicle headlights in a decades-old traffic cam frame. That image led police to an abandoned well behind his property, and inside, the twins' bracelets. DNA confirmed the link. The suspect had died in 2011, but the discovery finally allowed investigators to return the sisters' remains to their mother. She said, "For the first time in 20 years, I can leave the porch light off on Halloween." Case 4. The Blood Pumpkin File. Los Angeles, 1989. Police respond to a call about a carved pumpkin left on a doorstep, dripping red liquid. Inside the pumpkin, a woman's engagement ring. The victim, Sandra Clark, vanished 2 nights earlier after a Halloween bar crawl. For 30 years, the case remained cold, known among LAPD detectives as the Blood Pumpkin File. Then in 2020, a lab retested microscopic blood traces inside the pumpkin's lid using next-generation sequencing. The results pointed to a nightclub bouncer already imprisoned for another assault. When confronted, he broke down. "I just wanted her to see the ring again." The confession solved one of LA's strangest Halloween mysteries and exposed a pattern of crimes that spanned multiple states. The Mask of 1999. Now, the case that stunned the nation. Boston, 1999. A college student named Rachel Porter disappears after attending a campus Halloween party. Her friends last see her dancing with someone wearing a ghost mask, a common costume that year. Security cameras show dozens of identical masks, and police have no leads. For 25 years, Rachel's photo sat in the cold case unit. But in 2024, a retired officer reviewing old evidence discovered a smudge on the inside of that ghost mask, saliva from where someone had blown through the mouth hole to breathe. DNA analysis identified the suspect as Rachel's former classmate, a man who had since moved to Canada and started a family. When confronted, he confessed on camera, saying he thought the mask would erase who he was. Instead, it preserved his DNA and his guilt for 25 years. Every one of these cases began with fear and ended with closure, proof that even decades-old secrets can't hide forever. For families, justice may have taken years, but it arrived. For investigators, each solved Halloween mystery is a reminder. Technology changes, but truth never dies. Which of these cases shocked you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your perspective might uncover something new. And if you crave more true crime mysteries and real-life twists, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Because sometimes the scariest stories aren't fiction, they're files waiting to be opened.